All right, so here we are, plugged into just 120 volts, 15 amp outlet. And I don't have that hardwired in yet, and I gotta mount these wires, but here's 80 amp fuse, smaller fuse for control, and it's plugged into the DC power supply. That goes down through a hole there, up to the air conditioner, and I've got that for now plugged into here. All I need to do is cut the cord, run a wire through there, and add a breaker, which I've already purchased. But anyhow, so you can see, here's the unit. I'm gonna turn it on. There we go. And it's set to 62. It's cool outside, so it's not really gonna, its fan will come on, but you can hear it's pretty quiet. I gotta pull the plastic off of these. But we'll do that later. Anyhow, that's how it's gonna run. And you can adjust these back and forth, or whatever. Yeah, I'll just pull them off. Now, as far as the breakers go, at least in my model, I took these out. These are Siemens breakers. Siemens, however you say that. And I went ahead and bought the breaker, which is not in the bag. Oh, it's over in this bag. Here's the breaker, and I could only find a double breaker, so these work independently, which is what they have in the camper now. So if I ever wanted to add another 15 amp circuit in there, these act independently. But this is what the breakers look like that you would need if you're going to do this. And if I remember, I'm going to film myself putting these in. It's super easy to do. Just of course have the shore power unplugged while you do it, but these are easy to do. And I do have some electrical wire, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run from the breaker box into here some household electrical wire, and then I will tie it into that once I cut it. Unless I open that up and that's not stranded. If that's solid copper wire, I'll just run that all the way to the breaker, because that should be long enough. And I may actually be able to tuck it underneath there and not drill a hole. Looks like there's a wire loom there though. I don't know, we'll see. No, I could run it, push it right underneath there and go right to the breaker panel with this. So there is no switch on this converter box, which means my switch to turn off the air conditioner, well, you press it and hold it, but if I want to kill power to it altogether, I'll just hit the breaker, which isn't a big deal. And this is what I've got here. Now, this is you can have it as a charger, a 3-stage charger, or a fixed output. Make sure you get one that's fixed output. There's a little switch in there that's towards the fixed output, and then you can adjust the voltage. So I put it on fixed output, and I twisted that set screw in there until my voltage was 13.6, which is typically about what you have on a battery. So that'll match the battery. And then if I ever decide to go full lithium, I'll just unplug those, and those will go directly to the battery. And I'll keep this here. Let me zoom out. I'll keep this charger in here, this converter in here, and probably replace the converter that's already in here, because it's not as powerful as this one. This is a 100 amp. I don't even see where it says it on there, but it's a 100 amp converter. I can show you the box. I still have the box. But I gotta mount up all those wires too. I don't want those hanging around like that. And then that project will be we'll be done. Okay, breakers are easy. So I ran the wire down through there. Kind of quick and dirty for now. But I cut the end off the plug and I stripped it. And what you can see here is you got the white wires going to here, the green wire or your copper wires going to here, and your black wire goes to the breaker. So it's just like house electrical wiring, and really easy to do. But I want that to be a different way back here. Let me fish this through. There we go. Now I have a little bit more. So then, just going to strip these. These are stranded. I would prefer if they were solid, but that is okay. I'll just twist them a little bit. Alright, those are done. So then I have an empty one right here. I'm going to put my green one in here. I'll tighten it down. A little tug, that one's good. And then the white one, there's an empty one here, and it does not matter, they don't have to be in any certain order. Just don't double stack them, find an empty one. Make sure that's good and twisted. Okay. Go behind here. That'll fit better. Make sure you are unplugged from shore power when you're doing this. I should have said that first. That one's snug. Now I'll do the breaker. Here's my breaker. We'll put it on the top one here. We're going to go ahead and make sure they're turned off, which they are. And then you'll undo this screw here. And you're going to put the black wire in there. I'm actually going to fold it over to give me a little bit more area. And put the black wire in there. And then I'm going to tighten the screw down. Like that. And then this, there's a little, that's going to have power. Don't ever touch that if you have this off and there's power on. This goes in just like that. And snap that in there. And then turn it on. You're just going to cut the breaker on. And I don't know why mine are all the way down. And then on your panel, you're going to pop out these two more of these. The breaker is double high. And then this is just going to hinge back into here on. And there's your new breaker right there. So I'm going to tighten this down. For some reason I have one in here labeled microwave. Number 3. I don't have a microwave. So I'm not sure why that's labeled microwave. And then I'm not going to leave that on. I'm going to go and turn it off, make sure it's off. Now I'm going to plug shore power in, and we'll turn this on, and my converter should power up. Then I'm all wired in. I just finished cutting. I made a template and I cut. The paint's drying now. That's going to be for above the thing up there. To fill that gap in. Alright, so let's go hook up some power. Blue, look good. Walk in here, and then, and I still haven't cinched up my wires in here yet, because I ordered those. I could have just picked them up at Home Depot, but I ordered some things on Amazon. Turn that on. Did not trip. That's good. And I've got a green light, which means I've got air conditioning. Let me put this drawer back into place over here. You know what? Number 4. AC. I know you really shouldn't use the stranded wires and the breakers, but I'd rather do that than have wire nuts in there attaching it to, you know, household wire. I could take the converter apart and just run household wire all the way to it, which I might do later. There we go. Have it set on as cold as it'll go. Let it run for a bit. See how it does. That's it. We're wired in. Just got to cinch it all up. That's on high speed. And I got to clean up my mess. Did not add any height to my camper, which I love. I need to wash this now. I did water test it earlier and we're all good, no leaks. For those of you guys wondering, this is day 3, but I really haven't been working that long. That's cold air. That's perfect. Boy, I'm happy about that. It does take away a little bit of headroom. That's my tape measure. I had to move this light back. I don't know if I mentioned that already. This had to come back a little bit. Not a big deal. Now, this is all the way against here, so, and I didn't cut anything. You can actually see the original hole up in there, so I just kind of twisted it and put it back. So that's it. Time to clean up. All right, so I got the wire mounted. I used 4 clamps, 3 and 4. This is an 80 amp fuse for the unit itself, And this fuse up here is, I believe, is a 10 or 15 amp, and that is for the control unit. So yeah, looks good. I'm pleased. We've had like 1.5 inches of rain last night. Bad storms. Kind of a test for the camper. I'm gonna go check and see if we have any leaks. I'm not seeing any. That's good. Oh, looks good. Floor's dry. Checking the cabinets, because if we have any leaks up there, it'll run down the back here and get this wet. Nope, that's all nice and dry. It's all dry in there. Looks like we are good. I'm actually going to climb up on the ladder real quick and check, see if anything puddling up.